This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Welcome to episode 2 of Too Old to Game. I'm Dave Oster, your host here, with the original man-child, Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
And Mark, he's not here this week.
Yeah, he's not here. I'm all alone. I'm all alone right now. Yeah, we got to say dub the knees.
Yeah, Mark Weber is not able to join us this week, but
he's in Seattle.
Yeah.
He's getting rained on, because I hear it rains there because I've never been.
Meanwhile, we're here. It's like 99 degrees and incredible humidity.
Can we go back to California, Dave?
Seriously, can we should get on that. We should work on that.
Today, walking out of work, I was like, you know what? The heat doesn't feel bad. The fact that I can feel the air here in Chicago feels bad.
I'm helping my brother move, and it's just horrible. Going inside out, it's like air conditioning, no air conditioning, air conditioning, no air conditioning. Just trips all day. So, no, it's been a fun one. But you guys aren't here for that. You guys are here to
talk gaming.
Too old to game. Let's be legit here. We are too old to game, but we're going to keep doing it anyway. Before we get started, though, I do want to do a little bit of housekeeping, run you through the, if you want to support us even more than you guys already do for watching our videos, hit us up on patreon.com. You can go there, you can give us $1, you can give us a couple dollars, you can be on one of our shows, like we just had Bill on the Fast Break this week. Man. But, there's a lot of stuff there it's worth it. You can always hit up the store. We have an awesome t-shirt that neither of us are wearing this week. We're both slacking.
It's in my VidCon.
It's in the VidCon?
It's in the VidCon
I'll wear it next week, I promise.
Because I wore it on the plane there, and then I
still got to do laundry. That's check out our website, mostvaluablepodcast.com for all of our content. And, of course, check out our iTunes, 5-star everything. I know that you love us, so just 5-star that up.
5-star, type in a little something.
Yeah.
Why you love both of us.
Exactly. And Mark. No, not Mark.
Yeah, we got to love Mark.
Okay,
Mark knows I'm playing. I'm playing Mark.
All right. But down to business, boys. Google is talking about a console.
Yeah,
They're talking about a streaming console being released, and it's getting a lot of people itchy. Kotaku, I think, broke the news. There's a quote out there saying, we don't have a specifics about Google's video game plans, but we've heard that it's a 3-pronged approach, some sort of streaming platform, some sort of hardware, and an attempt to bring devs in under the Google umbrella, whether aggressive recruiting or even major acquisition. So we're talking about buying out game devs, which is entire studios, which we know Microsoft just did at E3, announcing the addition of multiple studios with good quality games behind them. So it's going to be an aggressive market to try to, what's left out there that's running solo for Google to go after.
Well, and the thing that I kind of think, there are several things I think of with that, but what you just brought up with the buying out game devs, on the top of my head, I can't remember exact names, but even in the last few weeks, few months, we've seen studios kind of go under where people have lost their jobs.
Yeah.
I wonder if Google's going to say, hey, you know what? Let's target this studio. Let's target that studio. They used to be studios, these people. Let's target them, the leaders of these that lost their jobs, and then they're going to make that studio basically under the Google umbrella.
Well, that's the thing. There's always so many amazingly talented game devs out there, and I would love to see cherry-picked a couple guys from this group, a couple from here. We're watching, I know it's not the huge success we all want it to be, and I'm going to bring it up again this week. My favorite non-favorite pirating game, Sea of Thieves. Yeah. But it's a Rare studio game, and you want to believe in Rare because of all of the great things they've done for us. But at the same time, they got pushed, and here's the question: how much was them releasing this? How much was them being pushed to release a game that maybe wasn't right, didn't have all the content ready for people? So you see older studios where these guys still stick around, some of these lifelong guys who've been in the business for 20 years, and you go, they know what they're doing. If Google is smart about this and they cherry pick people or an entire studio out from somebody, I don't doubt that they could do it. That's the thing. I don't want to be bold and be like, Google's going to come out with a gaming system. It's going to shit on the Xbox. It's going to destroy the PlayStation 5. No, I think that what they could do theoretically is good. I don't know that their whole streaming platform thing is going to be a great success, though, because are we there yet, Ricky?
I don't think so. And that was the other thing I was thinking is I am not going to put my money on Google taking down the big boys. Do I like it? Yes, because I am bringing in my sports knowledge here into the gaming universe. I am a fan of competition.
Yes.
I don't want to see just play. I'm a PlayStation fanboy. I don't own an Xbox. I won't own a Switch until Smash Bros. Comes out, but I will own a Switch at that point. But I have been PlayStation through and through. Like, I have worn the Sony logo on my chest like Superman. Kind of works because it's kind of like an S, but it's got to be there as well. But the thing is, I've always respected like Xbox and stuff because without Xbox, PlayStation doesn't up its game. Nintendo doesn't up its game. So now adding another player into this kind of gaming sphere, then it gets... Sphere. Yeah, I know I mispronounced it, but you get Xbox, you get PlayStation, maybe they have to up their game. And the thing I was also thinking, and this is the last thing of the three, is the streaming. Yeah. Is this where we're headed? Where I know that you have Xbox and you have PlayStation that can stream to Twitch, that can stream to YouTube, but to make that a priority, like, hey, we are going to make streaming such a priority, not just for the guys like Ninja, where they're super famous and they get endorsements, but even Joe Schmo, who, hey, I'm going to come home from work, I have my own Twitch account, I go on there, I play some games, talk to people. Is that where we're headed as a gaming society, where basically it's, if your system doesn't handle streaming well, I don't care if you have Spider-Man and it's amazing and the graphics and the story are amazing. If I can't stream it, it doesn't matter to me. Is that where we're headed?
Well, that's the thing. Like, if people can't, like, you're playing your games through the stream, so it's even, like, you mentioned Twitch and YouTube going up. No, they're even down. Like, you don't actually have a physical game, so you're trying to. That's the thing. Like, unless you're on like a fiber connection, which, let's be honest, the U.S. is very hit or miss with that stuff. In major cities, you can get a couple pockets of fiber, great internet. And God, I wish I had it. I don't have it.
For the guys like me, where you just said fiber and it went right over my head. Explain for the people that are kind of on the low and low. So because you're also a techie.
High-speed internet. Yeah. Basically, like, you know, most people have like 25 down, 50 down, maybe 100 down at like the best. Fiber is like blows out of the water. It makes downloading content legally very, very quick. And it just makes using the internet a better experience. It's like, could you imagine going back to like the old DSL, like the old dial-up shit? That
I can't imagine it. I can't.
Like, well, that's the equivalent.
Not even that. Like, it's just, I remember back in the day where it was not basically the AOL where I have to go through my phone, but like you said, DSL, where it was basically, wow, I can't play tonight. My game's choppy. Right. So I have to turn off my system.
That's what I'm thinking. Is like, I know we've come a long way since then, but in order to stream a game from a server somewhere and connect to that.
I remember when the streaming stuff first came out, maybe this is just a me issue, but it turned me off a little bit from digital downloads for a while. When the streaming just came to where, like, yeah, you can stream on Twitch, you can stream on YouTube. I had a digital download of like NBA, could not stream that game because the system was basically like, I'm working too hard to play the game. Now you're expecting me to stream it as well. So it would like freeze and shut down. Put in a hard copy, stream no problem. So I mean, you don't get that anymore.
That might have been a hard drive problem.
It might have been that.
Copy the game problem.
But I mean, that's also something where as these systems get better and better, stuff like that isn't going to happen. And how much firepower is this system going to have? And then back to the competitive part of it. If you're putting all this stuff into it, the devs put all their knowledge into it, the streaming, everything that you need for that, what's the price point going to be? And how is that going to compete with a PlayStation, with an Xbox?
The nice thing here is Google's a company that is willing to take risks. That's good and bad. We all know how much of a huge...
Put the money on the table. Here you go, devs.
We know how much of a huge success the Google Glass was and how it revolutionized all of our lives.
Remember how excited we were for that?
So excited. I thought I was going to have some sweet specs that told me everything about everything as I'm looking at it, and instead it's a joke 3 years later. But, you know, here's the thing. They tried it. They went, maybe we're not there technologically. Maybe we'll come back to it later. Maybe it's something, you know... it's not alternate reality, it's something reality, like adjusted. I forget the exact phrasing for it. Augmented reality.
And then iPhone does it, and it's like, boom, shit emojis that you can talk with.
Yes, talking poop emojis are now the thing. But that's the thing, like, it's technology comes in bunches. So like, I think that Google will be willing to invest to put together a console that has good specs. I don't know that it needs to be world beater specs, but like, you have to be obviously above where the PS4 or
the PS4
Pro is and the Xbox One X. But like, I don't know that we're going to make a big jump from 4K in the next 4 years. So I think that they're pretty safe starting their creation now towards that next-gen console.
That just jumped into my head, and this is the streaming side of it still.
Yeah.
Will this system be streamable to Twitch? Because Google owns YouTube. Google doesn't own Twitch.
True.
So are we going to see I'll say like a PlayStation Fortnite thing where it's like, yeah, you can stream, but we're streaming to YouTube because we own that. We're not going to let you stream to Twitch.
Entirely possible. I mean, I
don't know why you do that because you're cutting off a huge user base that would stream on Twitch.
But some of them might sacrifice the ability to stream on Twitch to YouTube, which Google's investing in YouTube's payment methods for that streaming setup. Like we were just at VidCon and they had one of the speakers kind of talk about it briefly about like, here's some stuff coming to YouTube. And they hit on streaming and how they're trying to make things similar but not quite the same as what Twitch does. So people can still earn an income doing this. You know, all of the big streamers, they're trying to pull
because like the thing with Twitch you always bring up that you like is the donation thing. The donation and then subs. The subs that, hey, I'm going to pay to subscribe to
monthly
you.
Subs with Amazon Prime was the was just one of the smartest moves in business Amazon has ever done because you create such an easy platform for people. For young kids whose parents have Amazon Prime, for people like us,
that's
where
the same
we have
thing
Amazon
as the
Prime.
token, right? You get the monthly token, and then you can throw it to anyone you want.
Exactly. You know, it's such a smart move, and it keeps them engaged. It keeps everybody has a chance to give money that they basically aren't spending. Which Amazon's awesome about the value for a dollar that you're getting off of Prime already. So they're just giving you another perk from it.
Yeah.
I'm not an Amazon fanboy. I just think it's a really clever move by them, and I think that YouTube is trying to, or Google and YouTube are like collectively trying to put together a competitive package to that where people can sustain a full job from streaming. And it gets me excited because I know that, like you said, again, competition, because YouTube's going to try doing this.
Yep.
You know, what will Twitch do? They already have bits, they have donations, they have subs. Like, what else can they do to keep improving the platform? And I think that it might be a thing where they will come out and want to do Google to YouTube only off of this platform, but that would only that would kind of draw the line in the sand, like you said.
Yeah.
So you're either going to be all YouTube, which means their infrastructure better be there. So that would be a big gamble at this time. Who knows what they'll do in the next year as they prep for this potential console release? But I think they would play it safe off the bat and just go, we'll allow streaming both. But for me, it's like up down. Like you have to have a great network connection in order to support that. So we're asking a lot of our users already.
And the thing that I think of, this is more on the side of, all right, like you said, we're going to let you do both. We don't want to anger anybody. We want to make money just the same as anyone else. What if this system, too, is... Because one of the things that I've always hated about streaming on PlayStation compared to being able to stream on a computer is on PlayStation, I could never have, like, the... so-and-so gives me a tip, and it comes up on screen.
Yeah.
Or having all that. That's all done computer side. What if this Google system, they go, hey, it kind of runs like a computer in that sense of basically, you can't do this on these systems, you can on this one.
I mean, they could build in some sort of Streamlabs-like extension. Again, there's so much potential.
Again,
that's the thing.
Partner with somebody where it's like, hey, you're going to be our, like there's so many on a computer, I can get it from so many different places. This is the app, and it's built into our system.
Right. Like that's one of the coolest things is them coming to the table. Just the announcement of, yes, we're thinking about doing it. All of these ideas are coming out now about potential ways to improve upon what we have, in the PlayStation 4 Pro, the Xbox One X. Like, what is, what's going to be that next year? Because they've already started to work on theirs. So now, Google's coming to me like, yeah, we're just thinking about it. What could we do, kind of thing? Maybe just a full streaming platform. Like, they're tossing out these ideas, and I'm wondering, like,
so intriguing
what Sony and what Microsoft are going to do, because they're just both looking at it, going, yeah, well, oh shit, if they're getting in here, like, what are they going to do? What can we change coming into this while we're still in development of our new product?
It totally, and I am so excited for this. I want to see what it could be, but at the same time, I'm going to circle back to the beginning.
Yep.
I'm not going to get my hopes up for this.
I don't know if it'll get off the ground.
I not even that. I'm expecting, because like you said, Google's going to pump the money into it.
Correct.
I am thinking, and this is one of my fears, is basically, all right, we put so much money into it, they put it out, and then it dies. Like, it's just a dud from the start, and PlayStation, Xbox, and the Switch go, nice try, bro.
I like the fact we didn't mention Nintendo off of this, because Nintendo just does their own thing. They don't give a flying...
The thing that I hate about Nintendo is... when it comes to streaming, and especially on YouTube, you put something up from Nintendo on YouTube, you ain't getting shit from it, because they're gonna claim it and take all your money from it. Where like PlayStation, Xbox,
even like Splatoon stuff, like really, wow,
they copyright claim like a mofo, Dave.
Ouch.
That's the thing.
Are they like MLB bad?
Almost, yeah, almost. Like that's the big thing that I hate about Nintendo is they're very like. RIP. Yep. Like, you can do it, but hey, we're going to copyright claim it. And it's like, to me, that's another whole discussion is streaming with like...
Free advertising is free advertising, people. When will major companies get that? Yeah, that's an argument you can hit me over the head with a frying pan. Like, I feel like I've had this discussion like with other people a bunch of times about it because it just doesn't make sense. It's like, I'm playing your game. I'm putting my time in. I'm giving either critique or gameplay or feed something. I'm adding value to it.
And I am getting more eyes on your game.
And exactly. For better or worse, you're getting just awesome all around more attention sent to your game. And if you're not willing to support me for doing that, why would I bother playing your game? Like it's a total shit show. And I think that like I don't necessarily think you need official partnerships with like game devs or creators or even like the Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, but like there needs to be some sort of like guidelines along there because like you said, Nintendo goes at people hard. Sony, you can post stuff up there no problem. Other games from different devs or different development studios, like I've seen ones where people are playing and like a dev will jump in the stream and like talk to them and give them feedback or screw with them in game. Like that creates more moments.
Another example is it was what Call of Duty game was it? I think it was Advanced Warfare 1. I was going to do a Let's Play of it, and I played the first level.
Yeah.
I edited everything. I uploaded it to YouTube, blocked worldwide. Ugh. Nobody could watch it except for myself. And I'm sitting there thinking, why? Why would you do this to yourself? I'm trying to show this game to
it's free
people.
PR, people.
Like, I would understand, like, oh, it's not advertiser friendly because it's about war and guns, but it was it was Activision basically saying, nope, nobody can see this. We're blocking this worldwide. And that to me was like, wow, you're really gonna do this. So it's like stuff like that, it just mind boggles me. But the last thing I have about the Google system is my last question that I just thought of again.
All right.
Is this gonna turn into a system where it's just for hardcore streamers, where it's like, if I'm Joe Blow and it's basically I'm a so-and-so guy and I stream on YouTube, is it going to turn into, if you're the average guy, don't even worry about it. But if you're a hardcore streamer, not ninja level, but I'm saying like you can make a living off of streaming, this is a system you have to have. Is that what eventually the marketing plan is going to be when they start putting the hammer to the nail for these systems?
It's an interesting question because I think that it does require more commitment because of the requirements for the streaming service means you need to have excellent internet, which means you need no interruptions, no problems. But I know I instantly went to Hoodie Allen. I just had like a brain fart, like no interruptions. But my thought keeps going back to like it depends on the gaming catalog. Like if you don't have good development studios, then no one cares about your platform because you have the best platform ever. It can be like double SLI with Titan 1080 Ti's. No one cares that you have like $2,000 worth of graphics cards jammed into this thing because there's no good games on there. So I think a lot of it's going to come
NBA
down to
2K. If I can play it on PlayStation, I already have it. Why would I need yours?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make sense because it doesn't, unless they have the catalog to go along with it, no, it'll be a failure. Like, Nintendo has their own awesome catalog. They go right when everyone else goes left. Sony has some of the smartest, best writers, super in-depth storyline. Like, it feels really engaging gameplay for their IPs. And then Microsoft ends up with a lot of these interesting ones from smaller devs, and then some huge slobber knockers that come through, like the Halo franchise, Elder Scrolls. Like, they've got some huge ones that are like, those are Microsoft games. But what is Google going to have? Like, where are they going to play? Are they going to say, like, oh, we'll borrow from, we'll go cross-platform with everybody? Or are they going to play the, like, we're going to have unique stuff just for us. Nobody else is invited to this party. If you want to play this game that's so awesome, got to come to our platform. Like, I don't know if those days are done. Because
I feel like you need a mix.
Yeah.
You need some game, like, because I go back to PlayStation. The greatest thing, like, Last of Us is exclusive. Spider-Man's going to be exclusive. On the sports side, MLB The Show is exclusive. And nowadays, like back when MLB The Show first came out, it was like all right, I can get this on PlayStation, but at least Microsoft had like All-Star Baseball or something.
Had something.
And like MLB or MVP Baseball as well from EA. Those died out because MLB The Show basically said, we're going to do it the best. And then the rest of them said, no, it ain't worth it.
Yeah.
And now it's like, well, if you want to play baseball, now there's like RBI Baseball. I think Rizzo was on that one, but it's nothing like MLB The Show. Exactly. And the last thing I'll say about the Google system is I wonder when it's actually created, is it going to be the next Alexa for gaming, or will it be the next iHome? Like the thing that they tried to do with the Google Home and Alexa, because Google Home and Alexa are up here, and the iPhone one, or the Apple one, I should say, is down here.
Yeah.
Which one is this going to be in the gaming universe?
No, totally fair. I've got a final question for you. Do you think it actually gets made? Do you think we actually see a product hit sales floors? Really?
I do. Part of me wants to say no, because I'm
bullish.
I get where you're saying, where this is all talk and nothing's going to happen. If I had to put my prediction on it, hot take, fast break style, like we like to do on the fast break.
Bust out the tinfoil.
I'm going to say they spend all these monies on game developers. They get the thing made. It goes. It launches. And here's another thing that we didn't talk about that I don't want to get into. But if you do, that's fine.
Yeah.
When's it going to come out? Are they going to beat everyone else to the punch with the next gen? Is it going to come out at the same time as everyone else? Is it going to come out after everyone else? I feel like in order to do it, they're going to feel like we need to be the first. It's going to come out. It'll fail.
I'm on the other end. I think it would go delay release. I don't think you can't build a gaming system, build up a title catalog in that short time. Like, that is asking to fail. If you try to force something in that time.
And that's why I think it will fail.
But they're offering something different. They're not trying to make the next PlayStation, the next Microsoft Xbox. They're not trying to do that. They're closer to Nintendo side of things of, I'm going to do my own thing. Respect that. Let's see what awesome I can bring to the table.
The only thing with that plays into it is if PlayStation and Xbox and Nintendo come out with their next gen first, and you come out with this one after, if all these homes have their Xboxes and their PlayStations and their Switch, is it going, and price point then comes into this.
Absolutely.
Is it going to be worth it? I'll put me as an example. I have my next PlayStation.
Yep.
Is it going to be worth it for me to buy it? And I feel like they're going to say, we have to be the first to jump, because if someone already buys a PlayStation, they might not buy ours as well. And ours is not going to be I have both. We want ours to be, yes, I have this and I don't need my PlayStation anymore.
I feel like
they're going to, but I feel like they're going to jump it, and that's why it'll fail, because they'll be too soon. It'll fail. We never hear anything about it.
I'm on the complete other side. I think they wait till everybody drops their bombs, says, we're doing this, we're going to do the Xbox 17.
But it fails just the same?
No. That's the question. I don't know what their gaming catalog will be. The guy they picked to run it, at least Phil Harrison, we haven't talked about him at all. Yeah. I want to at least name drop him in here before the end. Phil Harrison basically had worked with PlayStation. It was PlayStation for the majority, Xbox for a couple of years, and now he was picked up by Google. He was an executive with all these gaming systems.
So he knows the competitors well.
He knows the game. He knows how to play the game. And I think what they can bring to the table, it would be interesting, is if they can pull some Steam-esque kind of stuff. Pull the PC gamers into this. Put together something that maybe, I mean,
Make
like,
the PC gamers console players.
Yes, like if you could make
no more Master Race.
If you could make a port of like League of Legends or Dota 2, like if you could make those games on a console that's available,
or a better port of Diablo, because I know how much you love the PlayStation one.
Dude, it's not bad. You gave up too early. I'll go back to it.
But like you would always say, God, it's so much better on the computer.
That's a time for a different story. Point being, I think they come up with a unique take on the market. If they do it, it would be after everybody else drops their bombs, and it would be something that could be a failure point, because you are taking a risk. You're trying to maybe pull a market that's not generally there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a replacement for a PlayStation or an Xbox. I think it's one of those side things, kind of like the Switch is. It's like, we got this cool thing over here. It's not going to do what those do, but if you like what we're doing, it's pretty awesome. So I think that's my take on it.
If they go that route, it'll be a success.
I hope it's a success, because I just, like you said, at the end of the day, competition makes people try harder, makes them invent new answers, ask questions that have never been asked before. There's so much potential in the gaming system, especially I know we mentioned VR briefly before talking, but like, who knows?
I don't even think we I think we mentioned it pre-show.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, pre-show. We mentioned it, and it's like, who knows what the future of VR could be? Like, that's something that hasn't been explored yet.
Like we were talking about, it's taken, like, if you took this from this game and this from this game and this from
We've got
this one.
so many simple VR games right now. When you start to combine some of their features and play styles together, you can actually build out a full game. And I think there's a lot of potential to explore there. So if Google tried that, maybe. I'm hoping VR is not a dead platform.
I hope not either.
Yeah. I don't know. End of the day, Google, I don't know if you're going to do it, but if you do, I've got
Dave's
a lot of
for you.
I got a lot of potential for you. I know there's a lot of stuff you could do, and I hope you take the unique route and you don't do what everybody else is doing. But moving on, we got one of the newest additions to Overwatch, the newest. I don't know, one of the newest addition to Overwatch.
We saw teases while we were at VidCon. Last week we saw Overwatch is great with the teases, Dave.
Man, they are.
First they just showed the background, then the next day
we got a little motion. We got a little motion going through there. What's that? What's that over there?
And now we get the character.
Now we get Hammond or Wrecking Ball.
I like Hammond better.
Yeah, we just call him Hammy.
Why are we gonna or that? Like, why are we calling him Wrecking Ball? I get that he's in a ball, but I want to call him. Just call him Hammond. That's his name.
Yeah, I guess. But what he does bring to Overwatch is another fun character that, honestly, for two people who hadn't been playing consistently, there was a lot of intrigue.
I went back yesterday, and it wasn't because of Hammond.
I mean, for me, it was like 45-55% Hammond.
Like, I just went back to go back, and then I was like, hey, this is kind of fun. Why did I quit this game?
Where is it? Where's this game at again?
Why did I quit it? And then, like, it's been a long time since I've played, where I was like, where's my defense heroes? Oh, wait, they're all damaged.
And it's like, you've got, like, this little chunk over here, and then, Yeah,
they moved everything. Now tanks are all the way to the left. I'm used to my Pharah being on the left.
Yeah, it's a little...
I have to pinpoint that.
It was basically because they didn't want Hanzo main just insta, row one, column one. So I'm just saying. But no, I think that I think the character is super intriguing. I got a couple minutes in on the PTR before we came up here today. Actually, it was yesterday, but I got a couple minutes in. Incredibly mobile tank. The grappling hook is bonkers. Rolling around, tons of fun.
I feel like that's going to get fixed before, or not fixed.
Fixed. You mean normalized?
Adjusted.
Yes.
Yeah, because there was a clip that you showed me where. I can't even remember the map's name, but it had like the pillar in the middle of the cap point.
Correct.
And it's like, I'm just going to latch to that and just go around it. I wonder if one thing they will change is, all right, I'm going around this pillar, kind of like a line of sight thing, where it's like, all right, the pillar then runs into your tether, and it breaks your tether to where you can't just do that in a circle and just kill people and kill people and kill people.
I mean, you'd have to run into them, and you're also taking damage at the time. That was against like a bunch of AI at the time, but it is super intriguing. I'll be honest. Like that grappling hook
he's a tank.
He's a mobility tank.
Yeah, but I'm saying he's a tank, so if I'm doing that, I have a good health pool.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little.
It's not like anything like the
little cushion for the pushing back there.
The one thing that I was thinking of is like if I just saw that and he was doing that. That's a Pharah dream. I'm just going to sit there and pick you off while you're spinning around in a circle. I mean, you can't touch me in the sky.
While he's doing that spin.
With just that movement. I know he can with his other things that he may have.
Why don't you run us through his full kit then, Ricky?
So the full kit that I have in front of me is he's going to have quad cannons that are automatic assault weapons.
Yep.
He's got his roll where he transforms into a ball, increase maximum movement speed.
Yep.
The grappling claw, like we had talked about, launch a grappling claw to rapidly swing around the area, enables high-speed collisions to damage and knock back enemies.
Oh, yeah.
His ultimate is Minefield, to deploy a massive field of proximity mines.
Yeah.
Adapted Shield, create temporary personal shields. Amount increases with more enemies nearby. And then Pile Driver, where basically if you're in the air, hit the crouch button, boom, he comes down to the ground. Basically Doomfist style is what I was getting from that.
Less powerful than Doomfist, but yeah.
There's already
Super
one
intriguing
thing
kit.
that I can already see by reading these that will get changed. Adapted Shield.
Yeah.
It just sounds way too, like, as when they say, oh, it's more power, amount increases with more enemies.
Yeah.
That's going to get changed in some way. Maybe not right away.
I think the
but
percentage
eventually.
increase will be changed. I don't know right now if it's like 25 or 50 per enemy, but it will be ratcheted down.
I'm saying like not like a right away thing. I'm saying like some Symmetra rework down the road, where basically I could see that ability being reworked.
He needs a shield. He's a tank.
Oh, he's gonna have it. Like he would have a shield, but I feel like as people play him, especially when he goes live, they're going to look at it maybe like a Symmetra where it's like, yeah, we need to rework that ability.
No, I love it. I love it because it encourages you to get in the deep of things. You are the tank. You can... Okay, one of the coolest things was I actually knocked somebody off of a map.
A ledge.
Oh, yeah. I grappled to a wall. Like, I was rolling around a corner. I grappled to this wall, and I popped them off the side. I was like, oh, I didn't know I could do that.
The thing that I also wonder is... Let's say I'm playing, maybe I'm thinking about this because I'm a Pharah player.
Yeah.
So you're kind of wheeling around and I go to boop you off the edge.
If I grappling hook, it doesn't. I just swing back.
Not even that. No grappling hook. What if I misplace my boop and it knocks you into one of my teammates?
Does that count as momentum?
Does that count as momentum?
I have not played enough PTR.
I would think so. In my mind, I would think so. So for a Pharah player, it's like, man, you better be on point with your trying to knock him out of the way, because if you knock him into an enemy, that ain't going to end well. Because you're just going to hurt an enemy. I think it's interesting because out of the tanks, who's like, besides D.Va, who's the most like mobile tank? I mean, Winston and D.Va are probably our only mobile ones.
Yep. No, but I think that he has such an interesting kit, and it works really well together because the whole thing is, you know, if you can come in from a different angle, if you can use the grappling hook to spin up some momentum to drop you into a pile of enemies, you shield up with the adaptive shield, and then you can unload on them. Or if you have another grappling hook location inside, you can swing around and kind of clear out some space around you, bounce people around, because you do have a displacement with that momentum going. His ultimate's awesome. Just
the
as far as
proximity mines.
Yeah, it's a pretty widespread. I think they might condense it down a little bit, but at the same time, like the damage is pretty high. I think that they're gonna probably tweak those two things. I think his actual weapon, the double Gatling,
assault
weapons, whatever they're called. The spread on that's probably gonna get
They
widened.
call them quad cannons.
Quad cannons. They're probably going to adjust the spread because they need to be a little bit wider. He's very accurate.
Kind of like how they
now.
fixed Arisa's
they're
gun.
They're
going to
work on that a little bit because right now he's highly accurate from a distance. But these are all very small tweaks that don't affect the gameplay, which is why I'm super excited for him. Because
you think they'll make those tweaks though before he goes live?
I think that
Dave's like they
not
should.
all of them. No,
Dave's
they
like
won't.
They should.
They won't because you have to release an overpowered hero. That's how you.
True.
That's how you build investment. That's how you sell the merch. And Overwatch is about one thing. And if you thought it was gameplay, you're wrong. It's merch.
How many little plushies of Hammond are they going to sell?
Dude, how about the I forget the figures that like Sean
Funko
has.
Pops.
Funko Pops. Like those things are insane. Like I would buy one.
And not Sean Anderson,
Yeah,
another friend we
different
have.
Sean, nerdier Sean.
Because people are going to go,
Lifelong friend
Sean
Sean.
Anderson has Funko Pop figures?
That would be uncharacteristic of him. I mean, he could, but none
He could,
that
but
we
I
know
don't
about.
see him having a full Overwatch wall.
No. But again,
God, how many of those pop figures? Like, they're going to have Hammond without the ball and with the ball. Kind of like D.Va, where it's like different mechs.
No, it's so cool, though. Like, I love the kit. I love the ability. I love the mobility. there's so much to like about him, but at the same time, I'm like, just don't make him overpowered on release. Like, that's my thing. Is like,
But they will.
I don't know if they're going to scale him down enough on release, because the other thing is people are going to play him like an idiot.
Oh, exactly.
Like, remember Doomfist release?
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you how many games I did Doomfist.
Which I hated because I was actually good with Doomfist.
I say you were not bad Doomfist, man.
He's a good hero. I love playing as him, getting in the thickets of things and
But talk about the frustration of not getting Doomfist, and then like that release week. Like, what were players doing?
Well, and the whole thing that I liked better was I didn't get this with Doomfist. Orisa I did. I think it was Orisa. Well, because I play almost strictly competitive.
Right.
So,
but I figure like Orisa has a simple kit. Doomfist has skill caps.
Was the thing that they changed between the two was Orisa, she was live for everything.
Right.
When Doomfist came out, they had that, he's live, but he's not live and competitive. So for me, I was like, I'll wait. I'm like, I will wait. I mean, I jumped in a quick play or two to try to play him. There's the frustration of like, I only want to play a game or two. Let me just effing play Doomfist.
Yeah, but the problem
is
people who were trying to play Doomfist at the time. I'll say trying to play because I'll be honest.
And everyone's going to want to play Wrecking Ball because he's cuter. Yeah. He's cuter than Doomfist.
Million times
I
cuter.
said it.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to argue with you. Doomfist was pretty badass.
My only thing that I'm thinking about is, how is he going to, after he's been released, after he's been an established tank, is he going to be a guy that, or a tank, is he going to be a tank that has an established role of like, all right, if it's this map, like a cap the point. Basically, all right, we've got to cap the point.
Yeah.
We got to defend it. Hey, let's get a Wrecking Ball, because with his ultimate, let's just proximity mine the hell out of the cap the point area.
Yeah, it just pops out from like the center of him.
Exactly.
So it's just a wide field.
So like, is he going to be a tank where it's like on certain maps this is the go-to, or will he be a tank where it's like, you know what? He's a really good tank. We need him no matter what it is. Whether it's a payload, whether it's a cap the point, whether it's a I'm trying to think of another one that I'm missing. I probably am, but depending on the map style, because like to me, it's Diva and Reinhardt are like the main two that most people play. And then it's kind of like it's a payload, so I guess we'll use a Winston because he's kind of mobile. Or, we'll use a Zarya because the other team has a lot of firepower on the other team, so I can use shields to up my laser.
No, I think he'll be situational if he's not overpowered on release. He's overpowered on release. He's played every game. Like, he's
I'm even saying, think down the line where he's not overpowered.
I think he is. I think you need a unique player. Like, he's one of those. I feel like he's a higher skill cap tank than someone like a Reinhardt.
So he's a Doomfist of the tanks.
He could be. Potentially could be, because the whole mobility thing changes the way that you play a tank in this, because you're not just like Reinhardt and Orisa are just the upfront. I'm going to go and try to provide a block, provide a wall for my team as we progress or hold a point.
Well, it's like Eichenwald on that first point. You need a Reinhardt or an Orisa for the choke.
To hold the choke, and that's the thing. Like with Wrecking Ball, I think that he's just played differently, and that's what is going to give a lot of people shit. Is like, well, why aren't you staying in front of people? Why aren't you like? I think
like, that's not my game.
For these sub 3K people, it's going to be a shit show, but it'll be fun. But for like competitive, I think it's going to be like, he could be meta changing. Like, he has that kind of potential because of the playstyle and the movement speed of him being at places before people expect him to be there. Him being able to make plays by displacing people out of their setups. Like, there are a ton of possibilities with him, and that's one of the things. Like, I don't play the game, but I like to watch the competitive scene for League of Legends and Overwatch. It's one of those things.
Do you think he'll change Overwatch League?
That's what I'm saying.
Said
like,
meta,
I think, yep.
But like, is he going to? Because now we've got the Overwatch League.
Yeah.
Is he going to change things of how the pros play it?
Absolutely. And I think that's one of the things is in the first couple weeks, you're going to watch a lot of people try to play him. You're going to see a lot of different play styles. But, give it a month and you'll see, like, here's how you play Wrecking Ball on this map. Here's how you abuse him on this map. I think that he has such a cool kit. And I feel like I'm gushing too much about him being, like, interesting, but to me, it is. It's one of the weird times where, like, his momentum and his hook gives him the capability to do stuff that other people don't have, and especially from a tank who has enough HP to soak up. He has okay damage, nothing amazing, And like you said, that ult is just zone control. So you can hold people off. You can absolutely brick wall people in. I think that he's got just an awesome kit.
The only thing I think about now is I'm kind of answering my own question. I don't think the game mode will affect, like, he's not going to be like a man. If it's this game mode, we need him. If it's not.
Right. I don't think he's all the payload maps.
Because if you have a control, if you have an assault map, then it's kind of like all right, he's got good things here. Even on a payload, like, I could see him. Well, I could see him being one thing that could be unique with him is, hey, we need someone on the payload. Let me be Wrecking Ball, and I'm just going to grapple to the payload at times to swing with the payload to knock people away, knock them out of position so that my damage could get to them. Like, I'm not saying it's going to be a main thing, but it could be like hey, let me try this to see if it works. I think he's going to be a map hero, where it's basically some maps like, I'm looking, Temple of Anubis. Doesn't have a lot of flat ground for him to just do his thing. It's got a lot of different levels.
Which means he can swing a little.
And that's the thing. With the higher level characters, they're going to be, or players, I should say, they're going to be able to do that. Lower end players probably won't.
Yeah, so, you're going to watch them walk up into a choke point and just get shot to death.
And just get destroyed.
But I was rolling.
I'm trying to see like other ones. Maybe like a Dorado at some points. Like Route 66. I don't think he'll be like on Route 66. Don't see him being used that much. Maybe
on stage 2.
Maybe Watch Point Gibraltar at some points he's not used that much. Like maybe at the beginning, but it's like okay, once we get to that second area where it's tighter.
He seems very situational to start. I think unless he's overpowered, he's going to be a very situational tank. But again, gives you another good option because just playstyle wise, you're going to need to find an answer for it. Like if you don't play him like an idiot, he's going to be interesting and fun.
But like there's levels like Hanamura, Volskaya, Junkertown, I think he'll work well with. The Blizzard World, Eichenwald. Most of these that have that cap point, that's going to be his bread and butter. Where it's if I have wide open area to where I can swing off stuff and kind of roll into
Now you're talking
people.
all offensive. What about defensive? What if you're playing some D? Do you think he has any viability there?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about the defense yet.
Yeah,
Catch me
I know.
Little, like I'm mainly an offensive guy.
I can tell.
And I mean, like,
do you mail it in on defense? Are you one of those people who are like,
no? On defense, I usually have my like. I can play far on some defense, but it's like I usually on defense. All right, what do we need? If I need to play a healer, I'll play a healer. If I need to play a diva, I'll play a diva. I don't really. I wonder what if he's just an offensive. Do you see him being just an offensive tank?
I think that it's going to be hard to find a niche for him on defense.
His groove on defense.
Yeah, I'm even like I want to buy myself some time to ask you the question. But I thought about it. I don't know.
I feel like defensively he could be fine on control points.
Yeah,
because basically it's hey, we've got to control this area. I'm just going to treat him like an offensive tank.
Yeah.
Because I don't have to push anything forward. On payload, though, I think that's a map where it's like, if I'm on defense, I'm not going to...
But he can get to the payload. He can swing in. He can do some cool stuff.
Maybe my idea of knocking people, that's more of a defensive thing. Let me knock people away from the payload so it doesn't move.
Yep. So, I mean, their point being...
I didn't even think... That's a great question. I didn't even think defensively.
Yeah, point being... I think right now it's too early to tell, but we're leaning more towards like a niche kind of a tank champion. It's totally situational, but I think that based on release, if they don't bring down some of his stuff, he will be pretty overpowered. I think that the skill cap for him is going to be one of the higher in the game, though. Probably, like, I know there's a lot of heroes you can walk into and be like, okay, after like 6 games, 7 games, 8 games, you feel pretty comfortable on that champion. He's going to be one where you need more.
Do you think that, and I'm going off of the star system that they use, do you think he'll be a 3-star hero like Zarya or a 2-star hero like Diva, Winston, and Orisa? Because I don't think he's going to be a 1-star hero.
He's not a 1-star, that's for sure. I want to give him a 2.5. I know it doesn't exist.
I think he's going to be a 3.
I feel like he's going to be a appropriate. Because, again, Zarya's kit can be used really well if you're good at her. Well, but if you're not, she's worthless.
The thing I hate about Zarya is I put her in like my rotation. Like I would say I'm not amazing, but I'm good
quality
with Zarya.
Okay.
But there are just some games where I'm like, fuck it, I got to get rid of her because I'm not getting in a groove.
Yeah.
It's all about getting in the groove with the shields and throwing everything up.
Do you have good timing on your shields, and then can you hit a great graviton surge?
If you're not hitting those, she's useless. And it's like, I've got to do something
And
else.
she's only half the story, because once you line that ulti, it's who's there to help back you up.
Yeah,
you
need basically a Pharah, a soldier, something that, hey, we're just going to firepower that in there.
noon.
It's high noon, that one too.
That one too. But yeah, no, I would say 3-star. I would lean towards 3-star because, again, he's one of those, well, like I said about Zarya, if you don't hit closer to that higher skill cap, then I don't see the value of him being there. Like, yeah, he's going to be fun to play because you can roll around really quick. You can grappling hook around. You could probably have some shenanigans off of a My Wall or something like that.
You know what's going to be great with him? Skins. I can't wait for World Cup in a few years.
Oh, he's going to be a soccer ball.
He's going to be a soccer ball.
100% soccer ball.
Basically, Summer Games event. He's going to be a soccer ball.
Yeah. No, I mean, do you feel like they're just going to borrow some stuff from Diva and be lazy, though?
No.
No? You think totally fresh mech?
I think they're creative. Like, Overwatch is creative enough to where, like, I think the only thing that has been shared is, like, carbon fiber between, like, Diva and Orisa. Like, other than that, if it's going to be like a yellow skin or like a high-end 1,000-coin skin, it's going to be unique. And I can't wait to see what they develop with him. The thing that I think would be awesome for a skin, he's a hamster. Make it a clear hamster ball. And
genius.
him just running in there.
That's genius. But would they? That's a lot of work for the devs, but like graphically.
Yeah, but like
that would be,
they don't have to actually show him running.
No,
but
I want
like,
him running in there.
Actually, like have it as a clear, like you actually see him in the ball.
Hire this man. Hire this man, Blizzard. Do it.
Soccer ball and that's all I've got right now. Like
it's a good start though.
Basically anything with a spear you can kind of work with.
Quit saying spear. It is not stabby pokey stick.
Spear.
No stabby pokey sticks. No. God, if
they had a contract with Disney, I'm thinking Phantom Menace, those things that like rolled in and popped up. Yeah.
He basically is already.
He basically is. Roll in,
like they
pop
literally
up.
borrowed that. Droidica. I just want to make sure I'm not going crazy. Yeah, 100% Droidica.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you think, okay. Let me deep breath this one. Okay. Bring it back to reality. Do you think that Blizzard is doing a good job, bad job at their continued development in sport of Overwatch?
What do you mean?
Just how do you feel like they've taken this platform of a game when it first came out was like the Team Fort 2 updated reskin basically, and where it's gone? Like, are you a fan of what they've done with the game? Do you feel like their push for competitive is overkill or wrong?
I'm going to say yes. And, like, of course, like, for me, I mentioned earlier I kind of fell out a little bit.
Yeah.
But you get that with any game. You're not going to play a game every day, 365. Like, you're going to fall out.
We literally walked away from WoW after like a month heavy.
And let's be honest, a thing that pulled me away from Overwatch was going back to WoW.
Yep.
So, of course, you're going to mix things up. But the thing I've always wondered about Overwatch is right now it's great. Like, I'm not going to say like great top tier, but like it's in its wheelhouse where I can pop on whenever I want. You're giving me a new map. You're giving me a new skin. You're giving me a new character.
Loot boxes.
I don't have. That's the only thing I have to pay for.
That's what I was going to.
The thing I like about their loot boxes is kind of like the same thing that I've heard compared with Fortnite, where it's basically I can pay for a loot box, but everything in that loot box is not going to give me a competitive advantage over you.
It is not a pay-to-win game.
Exactly, and that's what I think is great about it. The thing I wonder is when we get to the next gen, because the whole thing, and I think I asked this when we did episode 1 before the podcast, on it. Yeah. I asked you guys, when we get to next gen, what does Overwatch do? Because for me, I'll use me as the example. I bought it for PlayStation 4. Do I have to then pay another $60 for PlayStation 5? I already get everything that's there, but I'm basically paying another $60. Or do they just say, hey, we came out with the game again. It's a new disc, $10, $5, $1, where it's basically like, or where it's basically like, we're going to cover the cost of making the package. Or do they just say it's a free digital download at that point? To where it's basically where it's like...
You have a lot of goodwill for Blizzard there.
No, what I'm saying is not like free for everyone, but if you have a Blizzard account that is already linked to Overwatch, you can free download it for the next gen.
As a man who had to purchase Overwatch for PlayStation 4 and for PC...
No, but I'm saying if it's...
I can tell you that they're not going to do that.
But is it like, are they going to treat the next gen like a new system? Or, hey, it's still PlayStation, you bought it for that... That's the only thing I think about, because I wonder how many people will fall off and go, I'm not going to pay $60 again for this.
Was it 60? I thought it was 40.
Or 40, whatever it was. Basically, at that point, instead of paying 40 for the game, you're now paying 80 for everything.
Wow, you're paying for the new game on the new system. I mean, who knows?
You're basically paying for the graphics.
Yep. It could be worth it. We'll see. I think Blizzard, will make a big deal about it. I don't think they'll give it away for free. They might do a discount price if you already have an account.
Unless they give us a story mode.
I'd be surprised. Oh my God, dude. I love the PvE content events. Like, I'll be honest with you, those are some of the fun things to do.
I just love the stories that they do. Yeah. Like the
writing teams they've got.
The video about Hammond, that's the first thing I watched before I even watched the Kaplan.
Wow. I love Kaplan.
Like, the whole thing of like him talking about the kit, before I watched that, I watched the whole animated short about Hammond.
Nice. So all positive on Overwatch. You think they can't do wrong unless they charge you more money?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the only question I have with it. It's a game where you know what you're getting from it.
Fair enough.
You know what you're getting, and they don't rock the boat too much to where they don't anger their
I was to say, the
population.
one thing I do appreciate is the balance.
I mean, they anger their population sometimes, but it's not like a huge thing.
I think that the last thing for me is just on the point of balance around the competitive scene versus the non-competitive scene.
Are you talking competitive to quick play or Overwatch League to non?
Overwatch League to non. And I think what they've done is taken things pretty well. I have not made any drastic like, oh, we've got to kill this. This can't compete. No, only the top 4% of players can do that.
And that's a great thing.
That's why I want to get back to is the community and the devs have an open communication channel between them. They listen, there's feedback, and there's actually talking. It's a conversation like this instead of, hey, here's what we're pushing down the pipeline. So credit to Blizzard, credit to the Overwatch team.
They actually read the forums, the message boards.
They're on Reddit too, yeah.
Yeah, that too. It's when I say message boards, I basically mean Reddit.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just thinking Dave, I'm too old to game. I'm thinking like old DSL 1990 message boards that are... going on Zenda websites, but I mean, that's the thing that I like. They listen. They like if they come out with something and everyone's like, no, I hate this. They course correct. Sometimes it's a no, just give it a chance. Other times it's been all right. We listened to you. We changed it.
Yeah,
we know you're angry. We were wrong here. We thought we were going to try something new. It didn't work. Let us go back to the drawing board with it.
Well. That's all thumbs up pretty much from Too Old to Game to Overwatch here. Maybe we'll get on. Maybe we'll play maybe we'll do some Overwatch gaming nights on Twitch.
I would
soon.
love to.
Maybe we'll bust out a schedule when we have some time for you. If you guys want to play with us on Overwatch on PS4, hit us up in the comments. I think it's pretty much a guarantee we're going to get on and play a couple nights for you. And let's keep things rolling, Ricky. I got one big question for you because we're seeing a trend dropping out in new releases of video games and even existing ones. And that is the drive for multiplayer and the lack thereof of a solo game, a standalone function.
The single player is dying.
Yeah.
And it kills me inside.
Does it?
It does. And the reason why is... So this was like a couple weeks ago. I was listening to Kind of Funny Games Daily. And they one of the things that they talked about was that like 51% of people... don't even get to 50% through a story mode anymore. And to me, I was like, what? Like, I couldn't wrap my head around it because I come from the old guard, basically. Not the real old guard, but the old enough guard to where it's basically like we started on solo player games like the Sega where it's like, you want to play Aladdin? Well, I'm playing this by myself, and I'm going all the way through.
And you're going to watch.
Guess what? If I die at the last level, I'm starting all the way back at the beginning.
Yep.
That killed me, especially Ninja Turtles on the NES.
I mean, you did have games like...
Here's a passcode that I wrote down a million times.
I still have some of those memorized. I was going to say, you still have games like Battletoads and Double Dragons where you get to play together.
Exactly.
But you could still play the game solo, and that's the difference.
But, like, for example, Call of Duty.
Right.
They're going full on into the Battle Royale, which is a different... That's a time for a different story.
The Battle Royale trend.
But... they're basically saying, yeah, we're going to get rid of this story mode, and we're just going to do this, which part of me is like, all right, I get it, because you buy a Call of Duty game for the multiplayer. Yeah. The single player is like, it's a plus.
I'm buying the game to get yelled at and insulted by 13-year-olds. Yeah. That's what I'm there for.
Not as bad as Halo 1 Beaver Creek, but
oh my God.
Almost. But I mean...
those were the days.
It's just, I mean... I didn't think we're getting to that day where, like, eventually I wonder, is every game going to be like Fortnite?
God, no.
No, I'm not saying, like,
no,
the
I'm saying
thing,
I hope not.
But to where it's like even Overwatch, what we were just talking about.
Yeah, no solo.
Yeah, it's a really good game. Yeah, they're kind of giving me some lore, but I'm not playing a solo campaign.
No.
I'm not going through it single player style.
You can't.
Is that kind of game going to die off where, like, my favorite ones, like the Batman Arkham series... those are some of my favorite games, all solo games. Yeah, they had online aspects, all solo.
Here's the question, though. Can you tell a great story in multiplayer?
Yes, the only one I've seen, though, is Overwatch. Overwatch is the only one that is like a straight kind of a multiplayer and still has a story that I understand and I'm immersed in.
Let me break that out because it's not... I feel like that's almost like a lie because
it's a
Overwatch has a whole supporting set of videos and community outside of the game itself. The game itself doesn't have that.
No, yeah.
But the game developers are releasing this content on the side. If you go to their YouTube channel,
they're brilliant.
Yes.
They're brilliant.
And they put in
the marketing is amazing.
Yes. I will not disagree, but I will say that that's not storytelling in gameplay.
No. If I just played the game,
shoot people,
I would
capture
know
points.
nothing.
And that you don't need to know anything about the game to play the game. And that's one of the things is like when I look at single player games, I feel like they're story driven and you get something out of it.
The only thing I will argue is I can't even remember what the event was. Basically the one that gave us the purple skinned Bastion and Orisa, where it was like Torbjorn, Mercy, Tracer, and Reinhardt, where it's like, we got to do this, where that kind of had a story.
The PvE events.
But other than that, no, there's no story to Overwatch.
No, and that's my point is, I feel like it's very hard to make a replayable game and a game that has a great storyline. They're conflicting viewpoints in my mind. So when you're drawn to that, it's like, well, what are people buying? They're buying games for replayability. And even as a kid, I think back to my memories of I was the third child. I was the one who got to watch my brothers beat a game a couple times, and then I got to touch a controller.
And then by that time, you're like, well, I already watched it.
I have it memorized. I had a speed run through a Final Fantasy VII because I'd watched it gotten beaten 3 or 4 times before I even got to start my run because memory card space was valuable, damn it.
It was. It was very, especially when you had Phantasy Star on the GameCube.
Oh my God. I will never forgive you. That's a story for another day.
That's a story for a way.
I like that.
That's a time for a different story.
That's a time for a different story. But my point being, like, you see what people are buying these games for, and as a kid, I loved to play community games. I was all about the Phantasy Star. Growing up, I played World of Warcraft. I was all about the community. Like WoW is the one game where I will be like, they do storytelling well, and they have replayability, and they have some solo content. But
MMOs are different.
That's because a unique bubble.
Like MMOs are different to where, like with WoW, you're doing the quests. You can choose to be immersed in that lore that Warcraft already built up through its solo player games, which you could kind of use that argument to where, but in these solo player games, they're kind of online too, more towards the end when you got the Battle.net, like Warcraft 2 Battle.net edition.
I mean, I guess the initial, but I mean, the lore of WoW has been built for over a decade now. They're at...
With Warcraft, like the original.
Yeah, but Warcraft lore was like this little pebble here. The World of Warcraft is
like they took that game and just built on it. And
to immense levels. That's what I'm saying. Like you don't need those. You don't even need to know about Warcraft or StarCraft existing
I'm
to
just
walk
saying,
into this.
You could technically use that as the argument, but I wouldn't.
It's not.
But
I'm just gonna shoot that right in the face.
You
No.
could go into quests and like you could be like me. Maybe it's because I've seen them 50 million times at this point.
Kill
to
9
where
boars.
It's like
Done.
I'm not going to read this,
But you've got to make a pie for Mrs. Othiseller.
Exactly.
And then once she does that, you get free pies. Like what
that
a
restore
deal.
your health, man.
Exactly. But you even like towards the end game when you do the solo quests at the end, it tells you the lore of like every expansion has some great lore quests, and that's one of those things where
And they have
like,
key cinematics too at key
and
times.
that helps, and that it's all about building. And then you get to go in there, and as a solo player, you're not strong enough, but as a team, as a group, as a raid, you take down the legendary bosses, and like that's the sort of thing. And that's what I think MMOs are in a special category because they can do it all. Now, when we look,
is it because we're in the run and shoot pew pew era?
That's what I wonder. And when you go back to a console, and I'm not trying to start a PC Master Race war here, but what I'm thinking is that like on console,
it's already started.
I know it's there, but I'm not trying to do it right now. I'm not trying to have the argument today, Ricky. We're trying to have a discussion. Where I'm going with this is like on console, like do you think there's room for something that has that wide openness of it has replayability, but also if you want it, there is story to be had as a solo player.
It depends. Like with WoW, the thing is also of the cost that you're putting into it.
True.
To where WoW can be like, hey, we can do both because our users are paying X amount of dollar per month. Where it's basically like we did the math in high school. We were basically paying pennies on the dollar to play that game.
Pennies on the hour.
That too.
Which was terrifying.
Just to, like, that's how much time we were putting into a game.
Yep.
But the thing I also wonder is, like you mentioned, and MMOs kind of started this. This isn't something that just started with like Fortnite and stuff. Has the old guard of basically us as kids, I think back to. We had the four of us. It was me, you, Sean, who you've already mentioned, and then our buddy Nick. Basically, it was the internet was not. It was a thing, but it wasn't like it is now.
Right, we were during the Al Gore internet days.
It was basically the couch was in the physical living room. And it was the four of us on the couch playing the game.
Little couch co-op?
Exactly. Is the couch now virtual? The couch is now virtual to where it's like we are not sitting on the same couch. We are sitting across the country. We are sitting across the world, but still playing the same game. And some people, like, it could depend, where it's like, if that is the case, which I think it is.
Yeah, I would agree with you.
It's not the same. It is not the same as what it used to be, having the four of us on the couch, playing it and being right next to each other.
Diablo tried to recapture that with couch co-op. It was one of those unique features that I thought
You're talking about like the PlayStation
Diablo
4
3.
Okay.
Yeah, on PlayStation 4 had couch co-op where basically it's you and your buddies on the couch playing the game you used to, and we tried it, and like I think we gave up a little early.
Yeah,
I think it deserves a swing back.
It reminded me of Gauntlet. I'm like, man, I just want to play Gauntlet, man.
A little bit, but
Valkyrie.
I remember I used to rip on you. What was it like? Red Warrior needs more num-nums.
Red Warrior needs more num-nums. And also, you had Medusa, and then you were always the...
Jester.
Not just the Jester, the Matador? Is that what it was? The Matador.
Matador, yeah. No, that was Gauntlet Dark Legacy.
Red Warrior needs more num-nums.
Dope game. You should hook us up. I'm just saying, Gauntlet, get on that shit. We'll be happy to give you a review.
We just need a Gauntlet. We just need a new Well, they have a new Phantasy Star in Japan.
Yeah, we don't have access to it legally.
I know,
we
need it, Dave. We need it.
But point being...
Not that crappy card edition.
I know. That was a hilarious mistake. Point being, trying to, like, they're attacking our nostalgia, basically. That's... We now have the point where, not all of us, obviously, we would like to have disposable money.
Fortnites are attacking
the
our
gaming
nostalgia.
industry, the gaming and video industry as well, because think about
everything
media
nowadays is nostalgia reboots.
It's targeting us because now we are supposed to have disposable income, which is hilarious if you think about how much we've gotten screwed over. But different problem.
But Dave, all of us grew up in Toys R Us.
I know,
closes,
and now it's gone. But my point being is, we have the money. We are the drivers of the economy. What do we want? We want to go back to the days when we had the most fun. And that was as kids playing video games with our friends. And like for me, It's weird. I have like a love-hate relationship with solo play because I love the storytelling, but I hate not playing with friends. I hate not experiencing it with my group of friends. And that's why I love Twitch, because it's like experiencing it with a group of people. I'm watching someone else play the game, but I'm experiencing it with, hundreds, tens, or thousands of people at the same time. And that's what it's got a different level of engagement. So I don't even like my solo play. If there was a game that I loved, I'm more likely to watch it on Twitch than to play solo play. But I still want it. Like and the one exception would have been like Call of Duty, was it Black Ops, or they had the stealth missions. Whichever one had stealth missions.
Black Ops. I think it was Black Ops.
Black Ops or Modern Warfare 2 had stealth missions. They were dope. Stealth missions, give me that game all day. But point being, I'm more likely to head to Twitch to do solo experiences or Let's Plays.
And that's like...
to experience the game with others, because even though it's solo, you still want to be in a community.
Well, and this is going to be far removed because we talked about it at the beginning of the podcast, but it kind of, the one point I didn't bring up about the Google system,
right?
How many people are going to buy it because in the streaming world, it's which side are you on? Are you a streamer or a watcher? If I'm a watcher, I'm not going to buy it. And that's just one thought I had with you kind of talking. And for me, it's like the one game right now, because it's so new and I can't wait for it, that is like, yes, give me it and it's going to be a great story, is the Spider-Man. Yeah. That's going to be amazing. But like also like look at the Telltale games where they are basically solo player games. Like Mark and I basically couched it when we did Wolf Among Us, where we were both sitting right here where I am, looking at the laptop screen, going through as Bigsby, going through that story. And it's like, I don't think single player games are dead, but I wonder with the new generation coming up, are they going to fall off and die? I mean, and are you going to have to find a way to, like you said, wow it to where it's like we have an online game, but we're infusing story into it, or go the Overwatch route where basically
it's complemented by this external story
because our marketing team's amazing.
Yeah. I don't think they're dying. I think the one thing is they're evolving. I think that the way things are going, like Matt Pat and Five Nights at Freddy's, and just Five Nights at Freddy's. Matt Pat was my first word.
They just came out, I believe, with the Ultimate Freddy, which is like 2020, I think it is. Yeah, where it's like 20 characters on 20. It's amazing. I watched a little bit of Markiplier today. 17 seconds is what he did his first try. Yeah, that's how long he survived.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you're watching someone play. You're not, like, that's a solo player game. Yep. But that's one of those games where you're drawn in by the community. And that's where I think they're evolving to. I think solo player games are an experience that is not meant for one player anymore. It's meant for an audience. It's meant to be watched. It's
like you with your brothers.
You can story tell from that. You can experience it together. And I think that's what like Five Nights at Freddy's has done an awesome job at. They've got Markiplier just plays the game, and you watching him experience the game.
The king of Five Nights at Freddy's, Dave. With his lucky flannel.
17 seconds, right?
Yeah.
Pretty lucky.
Well, he wasn't wearing the lucky flannel.
Oh, okay. Well, that must have been it. But no, I think that's how they're evolving. So I think we're going to see I think we're going to see a stark separation between these solo games that are experienced via YouTube, Twitch, and all of that kind of like community-drawn systems, and then the online-only multiplayer Fortnite Battle Royale, Overwatch, Tekken, all of these combat games that like I don't know. I think MMOs operate like in that unique world above because it's hard to find a good one because the bar's been set pretty high, but at the same time, like the hit list of things you have to do to have a successful MMO is so long in the development time and the constant support for it. It's something that we haven't seen on a console, and that's why I wonder, like, is there an opportunity to put together a game, I'm not saying a WoW killer, because we all know it's never happening, but like a true MMO on a console that can succeed at the same level where it has that individual storytelling and the group player. I know Final Fantasy 14 had that. I don't know if that was console, I'll be honest.
Is it specs though? Is that the thing that's holding an MMO back on the console?
WoW looks like a potato at this point.
No, I know. I get that, but it's more of like I don't know. Like,
yeah, Final Fantasy 14 was on PS4.
And the thing that like I think too is, like you said just now, it looks like a potato, but why is it so appealing on a computer But is it just astigmatism of like MMOs can't work on the console?
There's so many buttons you got to push in MMOs.
Yeah, but I mean, there's just as many on the keyboard. So many hotkeys that you can do, but maybe it's because I can't
it's
do
keyboard
that.
versus the controller. You're limited to, like
Well, and
4, 8, like.
And it's like whatever
buttons.
you're used to. Like you with a keyboard, that feels natural. Me with a PlayStation controller just feels like I'm at home.
Me playing some CS 1.5 from my old Counter-Strike homies from 2006 out there. I was like a savant with that. Like my hands, I had the muscle memory. I didn't think I just played.
But put a controller in my hand and
I feel like I've got 7 thumbs.
Yeah.
I can't control what I'm doing. My fingers don't have any idea how to work.
That's why it's amazing watching you play Overwatch on the computer and then watching you switch to a console.
Oh my God. Shut up. That's embarrassing, man. That's embarrassing. You're ratting me out.
You're like, I'm trying to do this thing with Symmetra that I love to do, but I can't spin
I'm like a
quick
30.
enough.
I'm like a 3500 player on PC, and I'm like a 2400 player on console. I just drop a grand plus. I can't do it. My hands don't work that way. But I think
it's all muscle memory.
I think a lot of it's the lack of community. I think it's the voice because you
have that community.
Ventrilo, TeamSpeak. Now we're into the world of Discord, and Discord's an amazing tool. And maybe we'll go down Discord road later, but like Discord allows people to post things. It allows conversation text. It allows talking. It allows video. Like there's so much stuff you can do to build a community and host it there. Around your game, like your guild in WoW, you have a Discord, you talk, these are people you build relationships with. On PS4, less so. Like I played Destiny 2, and I had a group of people I played with for a while, but I was never like close with a Monster Hunter World. Same thing. Like we played, but we didn't really.
Well, the people I played with were like you, our friend Sean, and then his girlfriend, which is my cousin.
Yep.
So it's like that was.
But even like
people
outside,
I knew.
Yeah.
But I knew they had microphones. Like,
right.
That's the thing. I wasn't like, whenever I grouped with random people, I wasn't talking to them.
Yeah, for me, it's the urge of it's the community. It's the need to be part of something, experience it with them, and talk to them outside of the game.
And that's another thing, like, to go back to our second topic where you were asking me about Overwatch.
Yeah.
That's the thing I love about Overwatch so much. There have been, you don't know how many nights there have been where... Back before I had the job I had now, where I could stay up until 5 in the morning because I didn't work the next day. And there was one night I remember I got on at like midnight, played for an hour, got into a competitive role with these other players.
Yeah.
And all of us were like, hey, let's team up. And we played for 4 hours.
Yep.
And just wrecked shit. And it was like, hey, add me. We'll play later. Hey, add me. And then it's like we'd go on. All right, let's do it again. And you build that community. Yeah, you didn't have guilds like WoW does. That makes it a little bit easier.
Right.
But it had that sense of like, all right, I played with these. Yeah, it helped that we were all good together and we all won together. If we were losing, we'd probably be like, bye, going to the next game by now.
Give them the deuces.
I mean, that helped where it was like a sense of community where eventually we're just shooting the shit while playing Overwatch and winning.
That's the thing. I think everybody enjoys that most. I think that's what people are trying to draw out of us. It's so, honestly, like when you talk about like meeting up with people and then like you kept in the group, I'm like, that reminds me of like driving down the highway and you got a highway buddy.
Yep.
Like, we've been going for like an hour and a half and we're just, you and me, buddy, you and me, all the way. We're going all the way to Texas. What, like, why not? It just, you got that relationship built over like basically nothing. But by the end of it, when he turns off, tear. Like, I feel bad. I wave. He waves back. Like, that sort of thing. And but for gaming, obviously, you keep that community going.
Well, it's even
do you feel like the lack of a way to keep that community together is the problem on PS4? Do you feel like if there was a way to, like, I know friendless is one thing, but like...
It depends on the popularity of the game because Overwatch was so popular.
Right.
Like, if you had a game like Gauntlet or Diablo... I don't think it does the same because I don't think it'd be as popular as Overwatch.
Yeah, I mean, like, on PC, it's fantastic, and there are guilds and communities.
And like with, I'm going to bring it up again, like with Fortnite,
right?
It's one of those games where, I mean, with that one, the problem I have with that game when it comes to this discussion is the age range is so wide.
Yeah,
with that one where. It's like Overwatch, yeah, you have a pretty wide range, but let's be honest. Like, most of the people...
12 and up? 14 and up?
Exactly. I would say even, like, high school and up.
Yeah,
is
so
basically
14.
Like, there are some, I would say, out of high school that are playing, like, younger than high school. Yeah. But, like...
Fortnite has, like, 5-year-olds.
I feel like it's, like, and it's that game yet again, firecracker, like shot up to the top.
That game was incredible, yeah.
And it's appealing to the older players because I'm really good at this game, and you need some skill to be good.
Yeah.
But it's also very appealing to really young kids because, ooh, look at how it looks.
And there's no
not like
downtime.
Not like a PUBG to where it's like, oh my God, we look so realistic.
Yeah, I feel like the lack of downtime is like the big winner. It's a free game.
Yep.
It has customizable features. It's got a good arc.
Originally, they started with Save the World, right? And then they went Battle Royale mode.
I honestly don't remember the early days.
Comment section. That's where I'm
Let
going
us
at
know.
you. I think it was Save the World, and then they did their Battle Royale mode.
Yeah. Point being, like, I think they hit the right building blocks of free to play. There's absolutely no pay to win. And it has a skill cap that grows because of the building aspect. It's not just shoot people better than others. So what I'm saying is, like, and the lack of downtime between games, it's what makes people log off. Waiting in queues.
Well,
no one wants to sit there and be like, if I log on to Overwatch, I'm going to wait 4 minutes to get into a competitive match because it's this time of the day. I'm just not even going to log. I don't got 10 minutes to wait.
The way I had it described to me today on one of the podcasts I was listening to is Greg Miller said basically it's kind of like the old arcade aspect of it, where it's like you're playing it at night, you die, one more.
Come on.
Let me do one more.
Yep.
And it's like that, where it's like you hit the button, boom, you're in. You're with 100 players.
You go in Ben Simmons'
ready
cat?
to go.
Like, who you playing tomorrow?
Basically, yeah.
Oh, you can play one more.
It's basically just all right, I got one more in me.
Yeah.
And the other thing I really like that I heard about it is with their, like, I think it's virtual bucks or whatever. Okay. Basically with whatever
currency.
And Fortnite gamers, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Whatever like currency they have, there's certain seasons.
Okay.
Kind of like Overwatch. But the thing that's cool about it is, yes, I have to spend money to get this currency. You spend the money for the first season while you play the game. If you do well enough, you can earn virtual dollars back to where, all right, I have enough to pay for the next one.
Interesting.
To where I only bought that first one. I've played enough to where basically I'm just buying the next season with what I've earned.
Yeah. No, it's an interesting concept. I think it's smart of them to take advantage of that because the initial buy-in is something, but getting people hooked on playing and feeling like they're actually being rewarded for playing, even if they're not necessarily winning enough. Yeah. But it still gives them a sense of accomplishment, even though they're not, winning every single game. They're building towards, and people love progression.
And
People
I wonder, and this is the thing we didn't touch on, going back to the single-player story thing. Since we're in a streamer, hashtag streaming is I'm going to say the theme of today's podcast.
All right.
Since we're in a streamer kind of mode, kind of culture.
Sure.
I can play a game like Fortnite. I can play a game like Overwatch, a game like WoW, and talk over it freely. Even a game like WoW that has a story. Yeah. I can talk over it because there's limited talking from the game at me.
Correct.
If I'm playing like a Detroit Become Human or like a Spider-Man or like a Batman, while I'm playing it,
there's no
all right,
word.
guys, here's a cinematic, and you're just watching me react.
Exactly.
Because I am watching this thing, and I'm not talking to you because I want to get the most out of this story.
No, I absolutely agree with you. I think some games will do better than others streaming. I agree that the multiplayer, like everything multiplayer does better streaming, but I think there is a caveat of like those certain special solo games. Like Darkest Dungeon's a fun one. Yeah. They just dropped a new expansion. It's a solo like dungeon grind, and it is old school. It feels great. Obviously, the Five Nights at Freddy franchise killed it. There are certain ones that kind of rise above the standard as far as solo player games that you can interact with. But for the most part, you're right. Like, I can't imagine Spider-Man being an awesome game on Twitch. I don't think it'll ever be number one.
Well, and that's always the thing.
Other than release day.
I'm gonna pull the curtain from behind us for this. Is when I first. Well, I'm letting them in. Is basically what I'm saying. Is for me with MVP. Yeah. When I first was like, I want to do gaming things. Yep. There were games that I wanted to do, but for me, it was in my mind of like, all right. If it's a multiplayer game, like a Crash Bandicoot almost. Like that's not a multiplayer, but a Crash Bandicoot.
You excited for that, by the way? I'm just going to...
I am. Okay. I'm talking about even the one I already have on PlayStation when they remastered everything. But, I mean, that I could play on Twitch because, yes, there were some cinematics, but it's like at the beginning and end. Yeah. And I can talk over it.
Absolutely.
But like a game like when I bought, what was it? It was like Ukulele or like Wolfenstein 2.
Ooh.
I'm trying to think of other ones like the Batman Telltale.
Yeah.
Like games like those, I never got to it because I didn't have the time. Those were games where it was more like, all right, I'm going to do this for the channel. Those are going to be more Let's Plays.
Yeah.
To where it's like, it's an on-demand video, but it's like, I am coming to this for the story.
Right.
And me as a player, I don't have to be, I don't want to say distracted because that's not the right word. It's, I don't want to be ignoring a chat.
Yeah.
And feeling like I am shutting you guys down to watch this. It could be me watching, me playing, and then kind of the old school gamer, well, the old school YouTube gamer of like, I'm not talking to you in a chat. I'm talking to you into a camera that I can't see you, but you can see me.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think to sum it up, kind of solo player games are not dying; they're evolving. I think multiplayer
They're changing too.
It's evolving.
Is it evolving or adapting?
Adapting. You can call whatever the hell you want. I don't give a fuck. That's all we have for today. It's been a wonderful game. It's been a wonderful day.
Too old to game.
It is. It's a game. This is a game. This is conversation.
The game of life, man.
But yeah, if you like this, please drop down in the comments below. Give us some feedback. We love talking to you. We love the discussion.
Episode 2.
Keep it rolling. Episode 2 is great. If you want to support us even more, head on to Patreon. Do the good stuff. You can jump on here. You can go jump on one of the other shows at that $10 tier.
Can't wait till we get our first Patreon.
Let your voice be heard, people. We love to talk to you. You can always check out our store. Check out some of the sweet t-shirts that none of us are rocking today. We will get those on soon. Mostlypodcast.com, of course, is our website where all our content is hosted. And iTunes. Bitches love iTunes. Give us those 5 stars.
Give us that 5, baby.
Yep.
Give me that high five.
Across all the shows. Every show it's on.